Yes, children. So previously what we have seen. So what is a hydrological cycle? Hydrological cycle or water cycle actually takes place through three important processes. What are those? Evaporation, condensation and precipitation. These are the three processes through which actually water cycle takes place, and this is a continuous process. The first important thing, see what is evaporation. In order to understand this evaporation, just take one simple example. See, in the early morning, if you take one bowl full of water and keep under the sunlight. So if you observe that bowl afternoon and evening, the water level actually somewhat decreases. And even if you observe, for example, if there is one tank in your village, just observe this month water and next month water, the level of the water actually decreases. What happened? What happened to that water level? Some of the water actually goes to the atmosphere, and that process is called evaporation. So what is evaporation means? The sun's heat up. The sun heats up the water bodies. Those are maybe lakes, oceans and seas, and that water actually reaches the atmosphere. So the process of conversion of water into water vapor, that process is called evaporation. That means suns heat up all the water bodies and evaporates, brings up more and more water to the atmosphere. That process is called evaporation. So in evaporation, what is happening? The water is actually changing into water vapor. This process is called evaporation. So water is being converted into water, water vapor. That is called evaporation. And evaporation, after this, second process starts. What is second process? The water vapor, whenever the water vapor rises higher altitudes and more heights, whenever that water vapor rises to higher and higher altitudes, higher and higher heights, it loses heat. Which loses its heat? Water vapor loses its heat. That entire water vapor actually convert into liquid form. This process is called condensation. That is, in the condensation, what will happen? The water vapor changes into liquid form. This is called the condensation. So here water is changing into water vapor. Again, water vapor is actually, water vapor is nothing but what somewhat gaseous form. Again, that gaseous form is actually changing into liquid form. This is the second process, condensation. Next, coming to the precipitation. So whenever that, particularly in atmosphere, the weight of the condensed water increases to a level. That means whenever that liquid form which is there at higher altitudes, whenever that air cannot hold more and more liquid form, that air loses its capacity to hold more and more water. So slowly what air actually does? Air slowly begins to leave that water to the earth surface. This is called precipitation. So in the precipitation, what is happening? The entire liquid form is actually reaching the earth surface again. This is called precipitation. So the weight of the condensed water increases to a level that the air cannot hold it anymore. So air slowly leaves that liquid form to the earth surface again. What this is called a precipitation. So how in the form of what? In the form of rain, in the form of snow, it reaches the earth surface again. This process is called precipitation. So what is precipitation? What is happening actually in the precipitation? The entire liquid form is actually reaching the earth surface. The entire liquid form is taking other forms. That the entire liquid form may reach the earth surface in different forms, maybe in the form of hailstone, maybe in the form of snow, maybe in the form of rain, fog, mist. Through these process, that again reaches the earth surface. That is called precipitation. So basically, precipitation is nothing but rain. Rain is a part, of course, in precipitation, but rain, just remember rain. So this is a precipitation. So these are the three important processes what you can find in the hydrological cycle or water cycle. Now coming to the, what are the types of water again here? Fresh water and saline water. What is fresh water? Basically, what is the definition of fresh water? See, the fresh water definition is very little dissolved salts. The water which contains very little dissolved salts, that is called fresh water. What is fresh water? The water which contains little dissolved salts. That is called fresh water. That means in fresh water you may not find more dissolved salts. You find less dissolved salts, less amounts of dissolved salts. That is called fresh water. See, most of the water, actually oceans only main source for evaporation. Which are the main source for evaporation? Oceans are the main source for evaporation, particularly. And 97% in the total water, 97% of the water you can find in the oceans. That too saltish in nature, the water which is not useful for use. That is first important thing. So in the total water, 97% water you can find in the oceans. That water is not more useful for the human being, for the usage. And what about the remaining means 2% of water even you can find in the glaciers and ice caps. Where do you find 2% of the water? Glaciers and ice caps. And again 1% you can find in groundwater, lakes, rivers, soil, atmosphere, even in the life forms, that may be plants, like that. 1% water is found in the groundwater, lakes, rivers, soil, atmosphere, life forms. So that's why only 1% of water is fit for using. The remaining water is not at all fit for use. That is why, because it contains more dissolved salts. That is very important. So the volume of fresh water actually depends on different climatical conditions. For example, in any area, if you get more and more rain, if you get more and more precipitation, in that area you may have more fresh water. That's why that the availability of fresh water actually depends on different climatical conditions. And even that means the volume of fresh water depends from area to area and from season to season. That means in some seasons you may get more and in some seasons you may get less. And coming to the even the availability of that fresh water actually depends on the climatical conditions also. For example, take India, the northern plains, where you may find more rainfall and also more flowing of river water, you may find more fresh water. And take desert area in India. So which desert present in northwest part of our country? That is Thar desert. If you go there, you may get less fresh water. Okay, understood? So in this way, the climatical conditions, so in the desert, the climate is different. In the northern plains, climate is different. Because of the climatical conditions also, the availability of fresh water actually differ. That is very important. So that is about the fresh water. Remember all these things. And the next we will see what is saline water. What is normal salinity. That also we will see. Okay, thank you.